Hola everyone, I'm Joshua Orro, the Mustang Prince, and welcome to Mustang Prince Orro Reports. So, to start off this episode, let's talk about the genius Lin-Manuel Miranda. Now, ever since 2021 began, while looking at many films that were coming up this year, I felt that this was going to be the year of great films that Lin would be part of. I mean, we've had films like In the Heights, which was wonderful, despite the fact that it was sadly a theatrical box office bomb. We've had Viva, which was a fun animated film from Sony and Netflix. And there was Tick Tick Boom, which was Lin's directorial debut. But, just recently, I saw the fourth and final Lin-Manuel Miranda film of 2021, which just happens to be Walt Disney Animation's 60th animated movie. So, without further ado, released on November 24th, 2021, the movie is Encanto. Now, let's get started. The Madrigals are an extraordinary family who live hidden in the mountains of Colombia in a charmed place called the Encanto. The magic of the Encanto has blessed every child in the family with a unique magical gift. Every child except for Mirabel. However, she soon may be the Madrigal's last hope when she discovers that the magic surrounding the Encanto is now in danger. So, my thoughts? Well, first let me say it feels so good to see an animated film from the true House of Mouse in theaters again since Frozen 2, after months of predictable streaming Disney Plus crap. Well, except for Raya and the Last Dragon, Soul, Luca, and a few others that I may want to talk about later on my show. As for the movie itself, I loved it. I think it makes a great film to add to Disney's repertoire. And to understand why I loved it, let's head over to Mustang Notes. Now, so far, I think this is the third Disney film that Lin-Manuel Miranda was part of. I mean, previously, he co-wrote the songs for 2016's Moana, and he played Jack in Mary Poppins Returns. Anyway, on January 29th, 2020, it was reported that the studio was developing an animated film centered on a Latino family. Brian Howard and Jared Bush, who previously directed Zootopia, were announced as the film's directors, with Bush being involved with the film's screenplay, while Clark Spencer and Yvette Merino were named as the film's producers. On June 18th, 2020, the tentative title was revealed to be Encanto. The project was also confirmed to be the film Miranda was involved in, and it was reported to be about a young girl in a magical family. While initial reports have said that the film will be set in Brazil, Miranda stated on June 22nd that it would actually be set in Colombia. The same day, it was also reported that Charisse Castro-Smith would also be a co-director in addition to co-writing the screenplay. As for the animation, well, in my opinion, like Raya and the Last Dragon, Disney's style of CGI animation is excellent. Not only does the town of Encanto look like a vibrant, wondrous, and charming place, but I think the Madrigal family's casita is a sweet and enchanting home. Also, I find it cute that the whole house is technically alive. Also, by looking at the architecture, it kind of reminds me of my Zia Anna's house in Artacana, Sardinia, Italy. As for the story, well, while it is good, there are a few parts that kind of feel reminiscent to Elena of Avalor and Pixar's Coco. But maybe it's just me. Another thing that I found interesting is that Encanto is one of the rare Disney films that doesn't have a main villain. And now let's talk about the movie's music and songs. While Lin-Manuel Miranda did write the film's song numbers, the score was composed by Germain Franco, whom you may remember for co-composing the songs for Coco. Anyway, in my opinion, the music for this film is filled with some of Colombia's musical heritages, like cumbia, porro, vallenato, etc. Plus, these songs make you want to jump up and dance the night away. Now, I don't want to talk about all these songs because I'm kind of afraid that I may spoil it for you, but thankfully, I'll only be talking about 3 of them. First is the family madrigal, sung by Mirabel as she welcomes the audience to Encanto and tells them about her family members at the beginning of the movie. To me, this song feels reminiscent to almost any opening song in a Broadway show, and I think it makes a great way to open up the movie. Plus, like the Rivera family, the madrigals kind of remind me of my countless Italian relatives, and trust me, it's really, really difficult to keep track of them since my dad is the 8th out of 10 Orro siblings in his family, and they've multiplied with their husbands, wives, and kids. Next is We Don't Talk About Bruno, which is sung by the madrigals as they warn Mirabel not to mention her uncle Bruno, who has the gift of telling prophecies. To me, while this song is kind of catchy and eccentric, it kind of brings the phrase Silencio Bruno from Luca to a whole new meaning. And finally, we come to Waiting on a Miracle, sung by Mirabel. This song is about Mirabel's issues of being the only madrigal without powers, and it also expresses her desire to gain a similar miracle as her family members. In my opinion, this song should be categorized as a longing and a tear-jerking song, kind of like Part of Your World from The Little Mermaid or How Far I'll Go from Moana. Plus, it makes me feel sympathy knowing how Mirabel feels. And now let's move on to the characters and the voice actors. Our main lead, Mirabel, is voiced by Stephanie Beatriz, whom was in the Heights, and she'll soon voice Batgirl in next year's animated DC film Catwoman Hunted. You know, I really like Mirabel due to her being optimistic, deeply emotional, and incredibly empathetic. And despite her lack of having a magical gift, she manages to scrape by with her down-to-earth approach to solving problems. The matriarch of the family, Abuela Alma, is voiced by Maria Cecilia Botero. Alma is in charge of all the magic of the family, and she takes care of the magical candle that gives the family their magical gifts. However, ever since that fateful night when Mirabel failed to get a magical gift, Alma has been seeing Mirabel as a disappointment, and she accuses her for hurting the family and causing destruction to the casita, when in reality, it's actually Alma's fault for causing the magic to disappear, as a result of the constant pressure she puts on the family. Next we have Mirabel's parents, Giulietta and Augustine, voiced by Angie Cepeda and Wilmer Valderrama. Giulietta has the ability to heal others with her cooking, while Augustine kinda serves as a comic relief who often gets swelled up by bee stings. Next we have Mirabel's older sisters, Luisa and Isabella, voiced by Jessica Darrow and Diane Guerrero. Luisa is the rock of the family with the gift of superhuman strength, which describes her as a character with the biggest biceps in Disney history. Wow, even bigger than Hercules. Never thought I'd see the day. Plus, she carries all the burdens and never complains, while Isabella has the gift to make flowers bloom everywhere she goes, and she's considered as perfect and a success. Plus, I think Isabella's CGI design looks very similar to Pocahontas in Ralph Breaks the Internet. But then again, Disney has been reusing some of their CGI character designs for some time now. Also to note, both Luisa and Isabella have a song. Luisa's song, Surface Pressure, is about her stresses of being the strong one in the family, and Isabella's song, What Else Can I Do, is where she realizes she doesn't have to be perfect or merely grow flowers. Mirabel's Aunt Peppa is voiced by Carolina Gatian, who participated in The Greatest Showman's promotional theme, This Is Me. Peppa has the ability to control the weather through her emotional state. For example, happiness causes warmth and sunshine, whereas frustration causes storms and strong rain. Peppa's husband, Felix, is voiced by Mauro Castillo. Felix balances Peppa out and is technically there to just have a good time. Next up are Mirabel's cousins, Dolores and Camilo, voiced by Adasa and Renza Feliz. Dolores has enhanced hearing, and she can hear even the slightest sound, and Camilo has the power to shapeshift, assuming the form of any living human that he knows. Another character to talk about is Antonio, Mirabel's youngest cousin, voiced by Ravi-Cabot. To me, Antonio has got to be my favorite character in the entire movie, and I think his ability to communicate with animals makes him very special. Plus, I like that he looks up to Mirabel and considers her as a big sister. Finally, we have the black sheep of the family, Bruno, voiced by John Leguizamo, whom was Luigi in the Super Mario Bros. Movie, and he voiced Sid the Sloth in those stupid Ice Age movies. To me, Bruno is kind of like Hector from Coco, due to him being excluded from the family. Plus, I think Bruno's ability to see the future makes him pretty eccentric at times. Also, I thought it was kind of interesting that he's been secretly living in the walls of the casita all this time. And now let's move on to my final words. Overall, for Walt Disney Animation's 60th animated movie, Encanto is really an enchanted masterpiece. The CGI animation is amazing and beautiful. The effects are gorgeous. The songs by Lin-Manuel Miranda are absolutely fantastic. The characters are fun, whimsical, and memorable, and the voice acting is absolutely spectacular. However, while the story may be a little cliched and it has no main antagonist, it does surprise us with a wonderful message about faith and family, and it also has several surprises that you either did or didn't see coming. Also, believe me when I say that this is a movie that you should definitely see in theaters, and it shows that the magic of Disney has truly returned after so many months. And so, with that said, I am very proud to give Encanto the highest rating of 100%. Welcome back, Disney. We missed you. Oh yes, and be sure to catch the animated short Far From the Tree, which plays before the film starts. Well, that's all for now. Be sure to join me for my next video, because I'd like to share a very special countdown video that I've been wanting to do ever since 2015. Mustang Power.